Meet Mr. Malik Muhammad. Mr. Malik Muhammad is a seasoned educator with over 34 years of experience in teaching physics. He holds an MSc, B.Ed, and M.Phil in physics and began his career as a lecturer, spending a decade teaching at esteemed institutions including the New College, Chennai. His academic foundation and early collegiate experience laid the groundwork for a distinguished career in science education. Since 2000, Mr. Malik has been teaching senior secondary physics in schools across the UAE, including institutions under the Ministry of Education. He has held key leadership roles such as head of department and career counselor, contributing to both academic excellence and student guidance. Currently, he serves as the subject coordinator at Bright Riders School, Abu Dhabi, where he continues to mentor students and support curriculum development. His commitment to professional growth is evident through active participation in workshops and seminars. He holds certifications such as Trainer of Trainers from CBSE and Microsoft Innovative Educator, MIE. Recognized for his expertise and dedication, Mr. Malik now serves as a CBSE resource person, supporting teacher training and curriculum enrichment across the region. Hearty welcome, Mr. Malik. Please proceed. The stage is yours.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
No, please proceed, sir. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Hi, good evening, all. A hearty, warm greetings from Extra Mile. It's a leading education platform envisioned by Dr. Abdul Salam. He is the founder of BTAG to revolutionize education and training. With its unparalleled pool of resource persons, Extra Mile excels in delivering customized online and offline training across India. Before we begin, I would like to express my words of gratitude to Dr. Salam and Extra Mile Education and Training for giving me this golden opportunity as the moderator for today's session. I also extend a warm and hearty welcome to all the participants. As we begin this session of 2 board exams, Decoded, it is true joy. It's a true joy to have each one of you as a vital part of this webinar. A concise guide explaining the CBSE's 2 board exam structure, its objectives, its assessment pattern, and benefits for students. It simplifies how the term-wise system works, outlines subject-wise evaluation, and provides tips for effective preparation, helping students, parents, and teachers navigate the process with confidence. So, before we begin with today's session, there are a few points I would like to brief you about it. Any query during the session can be conveyed through the meeting chat box. It's always welcome. In order to have an interactive experience, you may clear your doubts by asking questions. Kindly use the virtual hand raise button and wait for your turn. To receive your certificates, kindly fill up the Google form, which will be shared at the end of the session. Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce Dr. Abdul Salam, who is a visionary founder and CEO of BTAG and Extra Mile Education and Training. He is a distinguished CBSE resource person and master trainer who has made significant contributions to the field of education. He has served as an assessor of National Accreditation Board for Education and Training under Government of India. On behalf of all the participants, I welcome Dr. Abdul Salam to address the audience. Sir, it's your turn, please.
Thank you, Mr. Malik, and respected resource person, Dr. Datta, and all the educators who have joined. Hearty welcome to Extra Mile Education and Training. And this episode, this particular session, as you know, is more about 2 board exams that are, coming up. Like we get a lot of queries and questions with regard to board exams, 2 board exams that is proposed and initiated by the board. And we thought Mr. Datta is the right person to clear all your queries. because it is time that the time is approaching for us to submit LOC and all. So what all modalities and precautions we have to take in terms of two board exams, and what are the other aspects of model exam and board exams, and what are the advantages to students as well. So thank you so much, Dr. Datta, for offering this session. And we didn't have a session from Datta for some time long. And very happy to see you back on this platform again. And hearty welcome once again to everybody. Let us, take away the modalities. Let us get the queries and concerns cleared by Dr. Datta. Over to Malik, sir. Over to you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir, for your invaluable words. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a time to welcome the speaker for today's session, Dr. Swarup Datta. And his biodata is having 2 pages, but due to time constraint, I just briefly explain. I'm sorry. Sorry, sir. Welcome. Dr. Swarup Datta, he is the principal of Nat Valley School, Chhatrapati Sambhaji Nagar, and he's a master trainer for CBSE, COEs across India. He is a visionary educator, a corporate trainer of having more than 20 years of experience. He is the first school principal in India to earn a master black belt in Lean Six Sigma. He is founder of Maha Sahodaya and Buldana Sahodaya School Complex. He has trained more than 60,000 teachers and 15,000 corporate employees globally. Dr. Datta is an award-winning leader, author of multiple educational book series, and an international speaker. He is recognized for integrating quality management practices into education. His primary mission is to provide international standard education, especially to rural India, through his initiative, Best Careers Book. Thank you, sir. Welcome for our session, please.
Thank you so much.
Welcome.
So, may I start?
Please.
Yes, please.
Right. First of all, I want to check, is my voice audible? Because my computer has some sound issues. I was not able to hear the speakers properly. But is my voice clear enough?
Yes, very clear, very clear.
Yeah,
right.
It's
Thank
clear
you so
for
much.
us.
So, let me just share my screen first.
Sure.
All right. So for today's topic, it's CBSE 2 board exams decoded. And this is what has come to us in form of a circular. So we've been talking about the board exams from 2020, and finally the circular has come out. So the main job for me today is to understand or make you understand the finer points of these circulars. We'll understand what the circular is all about. We'll go point by point of the circular and then read in between the lines and what are the new things that we need to implement in our schools. We try to understand that.
Sure.
So this is where it started from. The circular issued on 25 June 2025. And this was regarding 2 board examinations in class 10 from 2026 regarding, and circular number is put on the left-hand side. Before that, we had one, sort of a link that was provided by CBSE along with the circular, which was talking about a draft scheme of the 2 board exams. So that draft scheme was more about, making people aware what the CBSE board is planning and to take their feedback. So it was also a Google link that was shared along with that so that principals can share their views about conducting or not conducting the 2 board examinations. And whatever I'm aware of so far is majority of the country gave a verdict. Because the most of the people that I have been talking with across different states and across different hierarchy, from the principals to the teachers, from the stakeholders, most of them felt 2 board exams was not a very good idea. And whenever I asked anyone, I got 80% of the people telling me that we gave a feedback telling it's a negative from our side. But despite that, I think it's getting implemented because of a more important factor, that is the national education policy. So irrespective of the voice of India. This is what NEP spoke about in 2020. So para 4.37 of the National Education Policy stipulate that to further eliminate the high stakes aspect of board exams, all students will be allowed to take board exams on up to 2 occasions during any given school year, one main exam and one improvement if desired. And this is exactly what CBSE is trying to implement. And because this is a national policy, irrespective of what the public sentiment was at that point in time when the draft was published and feedback was asked for, it was written on the wall. It was written on the wall that the board exams will be diluted and it will be not emphasis on one single board exam. Now, there's another para that is attached with that is para number 4.38. So this talks about, in addition to introducing greater flexibility, student choice, and best of 2 attempts, assessment that primarily test core capacities must be the immediate key reform to all board exams. Boards may over the time also develop further viable models of board exam that reduce pressure and coaching culture. So the target is to check the competencies, the core competencies of a child instead of the rote learning. And second thing is to do away with this coaching culture that has built up over these years, which is threatening the schools now in a way. And in some way, I believe the coaching culture is spoiling the discipline of the school, mainly because these children go to these coaching centers and they study things well in advance. When they come back to the classrooms, they hardly listen to what the teacher has to say because they are doing it elsewhere. And that has led to a lot of indiscipline in the class. Children are not listening attentively. Yes. They are talking in the class. A lot of disruptions are there only because of the coaching culture. Apart from that, this coaching culture focus on competitive examinations like JEE, NEET, and other examinations, and they focus only on that. So this has let the children bring more complicated questions to the teacher to check the teacher's knowledge if they're able to answer those questions or not. And this is again sort of a way spoiling the discipline and the respect for the teachers in the minds of the children. They're trying to get competitive exam answers from teachers who are teaching for the board, and that is not the right thing. So they want to get away and do away with the board exam, this coaching culture. So 2 board exams was necessary. This is also telling that in the future, the form of the board exam might change further. If you have studied NCF, in NCF it is clearly written that there may be 8 board exams, 6 to 8 board exams. So these are all possibilities. It can be semester form, it can be modular. So this is what the other paragraph is talking about. So high stake of 1 board exam is to be done away with. Now the scheme of the board exam. The circular says very clearly it's mandatory for the students to appear in the first board exam. And all passed and eligible students will be allowed to improve their performance in any of these 3 subjects out of science, maths, social, and languages. So out of all the 5, 6, or 7 subjects. Now you can see over here, when we talk about science, math, social, and languages, we are not talking about skill subjects. So that poses a question over here that are the children allowed to improve the scores of the skill subjects as well? But going by the circular as of now, skill subject is not mentioned in that list. So it's only the 3 major subjects, science, social, maths, and the languages. Now, the subjects that are compulsory in the first attempt. So 3 subjects are made compulsory. Which 3? Any 3 from these 5 mandatory subjects. 2 languages and 3 main subjects. So out of these 5, 3 they have to compulsorily attempt. Subjects in first examination, then she will not be allowed to appear in the second examination. So if a student has not appeared in 3 exams, then the second exam is not for them. For example, if a child chooses to appear only for 2 board exams or 2 subjects in the first attempt, they will not qualify for the second exam. That will become an essential repeat. So if the child has filled up form for all 5, appears for only 2, then it's still an essential repeat. So this we have to keep in mind that 3 subjects at least the child has to appear in. Next. Now, what is compartmental? What is the policy for that? For students whose result in the first examination is compartment, such students will be allowed to appear in the second exam under compartment category. So if a child has appeared in at least 3 and failed in 2, then it can still be a compartment. We need to keep that in mind. If the child has appeared in 3 and failed in 1, it's a compartment. The child has appeared in 3 and failed in all 3, then it's not going to be a compartment anymore. It's going to be an essential repeat. So this is something that we have to understand. Now the question is, do we go for essential repeat if the 3 subjects has a fail score, or the child gets a chance to improve those scores in the second attempt? So I'll reveal this by pointing something that Sanyam Bharadwaj sir recently talked about in the Pune conference. He had a Pune session with all the city coordinators and principals of Pune, Mumbai, this region, and he shared some recent updates which were not mentioned in the circular. So that I'll mention at the end of the session after we discuss what the circular is. So as of now, right now, 3 exams the child has to appear. Otherwise, it will not be counted as a first attempt. Additional subjects not permitted. 16th March 2021, there was a circular by CBSE which talked about a period for appearing in additional subject. And it was mentioned over here, as you can see on the right panel. As per examination bylaws, a candidate who has passed board examination can apply for additional subject from the list of subjects within 6 years of passing the examination. Candidates cannot apply for an additional subject involving practical work. So if it's like subject like maths, social studies, languages, a child has not taken a language in his board exam, may take it individually within next 6 years of passing the board examination. But this circular has negated that. So now additional subjects will not be permitted after the passing of class 10th. Student will not be allowed in standalone subjects. So I think it's pretty clear why we are doing that, because the pattern has now shifted to 2 board examinations, and doing multiple exams in future will be again a very logistic and operational challenge. So this is one reason why individual subjects we will not allow children to appear in future. What about the internal assessment? Internal assessment will be conducted only once for the main exam. So as we are preparing for 1 board exam, the internal assessment remains same. 20 marks, 5, 5, 5, 5. We know which are these 5 things. 4 components. One is the pen paper test, the portfolio, the subject enrichment activity, and multiple assessment. So these examinations or internal assessment will be conducted as we were doing earlier when the board exam was single board exam, and this score will be carried forward for the next attempt as well, the second attempt. Now the schedule for the examination has been made clear. First examination is going to be in mid-Feb, and the second examination is going to be in the month of May. Now with this schedule, a lot of questions came up in the mind of the educators, and they primarily objected to this idea of 2 board exams was because what happens to the summer vacation for these class 10th teachers? What happens to them? Earlier the summer vacation played an important role of not only giving the required off time to the teachers, but also because teachers could upgrade themselves during that time, plan for the next academic year during that time, and that was a very essential window for the teachers to be prepared for the next academic year, both physically, mentally, and academically. So now phase 1 exam will be conducted in mid-Feb as it was earlier. The only thing is the second exam comes in month of May, and optional, and it's based on eligibility. So it's not like every individual who is appearing for the board exam of the first attempt will appear for the second exam as well. So when asked what percentage of children the board is expecting that will reappear, the answer is between 30 to 40% only. So remaining 60 to 70% may not appear for the second attempt at all. So this is what the board is assuming, and based on that assumption, they will probably make the logistic arrangements, including allotment of centers and giving the responsibility of evaluators to teachers.
Sir,
now, what are
one
the
question.
eligibility
I'm sorry to interfere. And
Sorry.
this internal assessment mark, you said that 20 marks will be there. It will be added in the final board exams?
Yes,
Or
it will be in the final
it
board
will be there.
exam. So after attempt
Fine.
1 and attempt 2. So when attempt
Okay.
1 is taken, even then the result is published, if you understand that. It was written in the circular. I'm coming to that. I'll explain about that in the next slide
Okay.
maybe. So let's first
Thank you.
understand the eligibility criteria for appearing in the exam. So in the first attempt, the eligibility is fresh students of class 10. So everyone basically appears for the attempt 1. The next eligibility is second chance compartment. So those who are appearing for the second chance compartment, they are going to appear over here. And essential repeat of previous year. So essential repeat of previous year students also appear for the first attempt. And those who want to appear for the improvement exam, they can also appear in the first attempt. What about the second attempt? In the second attempt, improvement category up to 3 main subjects. So here, if you see, they are not appearing in all the 5 subjects. They are appearing only in 3 subjects. And there's a finer point to it, which I'll again reveal at the end of the session. So far, the circular said they're allowed to go for improvement of 3 main subjects. In the circular, it was not specified which 3 subjects. But then at the end, I'll make that clear. So second is first or third chance compartment. First and third chance, mainly because the second chance is a normal exam. That's attempt 1 will be the second chance compartment. So it's in attempt 1, the second chance compartment comes over here. So it's going to be the first compartment, and the third compartment will go for the second attempt. Compartment plus improvement candidates, those who have compartment and improvement, they will be appearing for the second attempt. And improvement for the students passed by the replacement of subject. So replacement of subject is, let's say, IT replaced mathematics because the child failed in mathematics. So to get the pass marks, IT replaced mathematics. So the child can now appear in mathematics because it was replaced by IT. Now he wants to get a pass score in mathematics as well. So he will appear in the second attempt. So I think the eligibility criteria is pretty clear that in first attempt, everyone is appearing. And in the second attempt, those children who want to appear, those who have got first and third chance compartment. And as I said, improvement category, up to 3 subjects will be permitted. Syllabus and scheme of examination. Both the examinations will be conducted.
I'm sorry for interfering. It's for only for grade 10. How about for 12th?
Sorry, I didn't get it. Can you be a bit louder?
The previous slide, you mentioned about grade 10 alone. How about for grade 12?
See, 12, they didn't come up with the suggestion for 12 2 board exams at all this time.
As of now.
So they have only spoken about class 10th. So 12th is going for 1 single examination.
As of now.
Right, as of now.
Thank you.
So now both the examinations will be conducted with full syllabus. So it's not like going to be a semester. So that is the reason this point has been added. That is a full syllabus exam. So attempt 1 and attempt 2 is in the with the entire content. The scheme of studies and scheme of examination will remain the same. So this was mentioned in the circular, but there's an addition to that. There is a change, which I'll mention at the end of the session again. There's a change in the scheme of examination for 2 subjects. I'll talk about that a little later. LOC submission for the examinations. So filling of the LOC and appearing in the main first examination will be compulsory. So LOC is filled for every candidate. So the first attempt is almost like the way we have been doing for years. So it's just normal, the filling of the LOC, getting ready for the exam, for 5. But the only change over here is earlier when the attempt was only 1 attempt, you had to fill up the form for all the subjects of that particular exam. That is either 5 or 6 with the skill subject or 7 subjects with the language, additional language, third language. But here now we have a difference. Here the difference is when you fill up the LOC, it might be filled up with only 3 subjects. So remaining 2 subjects, if the child chooses not to remain absent, but he wants to appear for it in the second attempt, he need not fill up the LOC over here. So here that will be a change, that LOC can be filled minimum for 3 subjects and maximum for all the subjects. Now LOC for the second examination will be filled in separately. However, no new names will be added to the LOC of the second exam. That's very obvious, mainly because attempt 1 is mandatory. Missing the attempt 1, you cannot start with attempt 2. So even if the child wants to go for the attempt 2 with all the subjects, all the 5, 6 or 7 subjects, he will not be allowed because he has missed the first attempt. There is an exception for this also. So when I come to that slide, I'll talk about that. So third point is, again, subject change will not be allowed from first exam to the second exam except permitted by policy. So if you're filling the LOC with certain, certain subjects that the child is appearing for, when they go to the next exam and second LOC is to be filled, that time there may not be or should not be any change in subject. But then I put a red asterisk over here, if you can see, because there is a point, again, exception to this as well, which I'm going to again reveal at the end of the session. So as of now, only the circular we are sticking to. So subject change will not be allowed, but then let me tell you, it will be allowed with in a particular case. So for the LOC, what the schools need to do, it has been mentioned in another circular of the LOC by CBSE that APAR number or APAR ID is going to be mandatory. Now, the major challenge most of the schools are facing is the admission register carries a different name, the Aadhaar card carries a different name, and then the child is appearing in the board examination with either of these, either with the Aadhaar card name, but most of the times it is as per the admission withdrawal register that school has filled in. So now, because APAR ID becomes mandatory now, what will happen if there is a mismatch between the school and the Aadhaar card? What will happen is, Aadhaar and school mismatch, the APAR ID will be generated with the Aadhaar card. So school admission withdrawal register is not important for the APAR ID. For APAR ID, it's a digital ID and it is linked to the Aadhaar card. Now, if the school fills up things with the school admission withdrawal register name spelling, APAR ID will not be generated at all. And the second thing is the mark sheet that will be generated. It may carry the other name the child is not willing to have. And then when he goes for higher education, for example, exams like CLAT and all these things in class 12th, they want the name exactly as that is on the class 10th mark sheet. Even in joint entrance examination, if you have seen, they want the mark sheet name to be printed exactly the same way in their form. So here the APAR ID will be very important. So the LOC will be published or asked for in the month of September. Anytime it is due now. So what the schools are advised is get the APAR ID populated without delay, because if there is a mismatch in the name of admission register and Aadhaar card, things will get delayed. They will require to update their Aadhaar name change, and that will take another 15-20 days at times, and it may take longer. It's not in our control. So that time again the LOC will be missed. So very clearly the schools should take a note of this, that to get the APAR ID right and to ensure that this Aadhaar card, APAR ID and the school admission withdrawal register names match, we do things well in advance. So within the next few days, I would say, get the Aadhaar name changed. Now, result declaration. The result of the first exam will be declared in the month of April. So it starts in the month of Feb, moves on till March, and then in April it will be declared. But how? It will be declared in the DigiLocker. It will not be a declaration of the result in the printed form. So results of the second exam will be declared in the month of June. So performance of the main exam will be made available in DigiLocker. This could be used for admission to class 11 if the student does not wish to appear in second exam for improvement. So there might be many children, 70% to 60% children, they will not appear for the second attempt at all. So for them, appearing in the exam, result is now in the DigiLocker, and the next result is going to come out in the month of June. They cannot wait that long. So now it is said that DigiLocker result will be good enough to take admission in class 11th, and this will be only a provisional admission which can be confirmed after the second attempt result is declared in printed form, and then this admission can be confirmed across the institutions. So this has come as a circular from CBSE. So all other institutions who are intaking these children in class 11th, they need to be made aware. They will be already aware, but they need to follow this. And merit certificate will also be issued only after the second exam. So basically what we understand from this is, first it comes out in DigiLocker, and then after the second attempt, it comes out in print form. Post-result facilities like obtaining of scanned copy of evaluated answer books, verification of marks, re-evaluation, and both verification and re-evaluation. So photocopy verification, re-evaluation will be available only after declaration of the result of the second exam. So immediately after appearing in the first and the result is out, you cannot apply for verification of marks. So you can do that only after the second one is done. So What advantage will it have? The first advantage is, if the child appears in the second attempt, he may not require to check the first attempt's evaluation at all, because now he may be satisfied with the second attempt, and the second attempt marks will actually what counts. So unnecessarily going and checking how the evaluation was done in the first attempt does not make any sense, and that will save time of the board as well. Because when we are doing the same things twice, we need to cut down processes which are unimportant. So this reevaluation of the first attempt is unimportant, because once they go for the second attempt and they're convinced with the mark of the second attempt, the first attempt is not considered at all. Next, admission in class 11th. Students not qualified in the mid exam will be allowed provisional admission in class 11, and based on the second exam, the admission can be confirmed. So again, this is a very important thing. The child did not clear the first attempt. He is planning to appear for the second attempt, and he has no admission that has to be done before that. The colleges or junior colleges or class 11th is telling the admissions are open. So they can go ahead with admission, telling that I have another attempt left, and based on the second attempt, you can confirm admission. So provisional admissions can be done even after the first attempt through the DigiLocker. And even if the child has not cleared, he can still get admission in 11th, provided he clears the second attempt. Scheme in special category. Now, if you see, I was talking about an exception of the LOC. So this point, now why I have named this 1, 1, 1? Mainly because all are equally important. It's not like 1, 2, and 3. So winter-bound schools, students may choose to appear either in the first attempt or the second exam in offered subject. See, earlier we were telling attempt number 1 is mandatory, but schools which are winter-bound, the closed during the winters, for example, for them, Feb may be a month where the school is closed. So they cannot appear in those exams. There are areas of the country or, hilly regions in particular, which stay covered even in the month of Feb with snow. So that time difficult to conduct exams. So here, earlier it was very difficult to conduct the board exam, and under very tough circumstances it was conducted. So now there's an option. If the child so wishes, these children may not appear in the first attempt and go for the second attempt only and only for winter-bound schools. The next is sports students will be allowed to appear in second examination in the subjects whose examination have been coinciding with the sports event. So here also an exception has been made. So if the child is not appearing in an exam because the sports event has coincided with that particular date, then the child can appear in the second attempt as well. So the child has filled 3 subjects to appear in the board exam as per the mandate that you need to fill minimum 3 subjects. The child has done that. Now, after that, a sports event comes up, and that sports event coincides with one of these dates of these 3 exams. Now, ideally, if the child is not appearing for all 3, he is considered for essential repeat. But if the child is a national level or international level or state levels player, as per the policy of CBSE, special permission has to be sought for that, and then the child can appear for that subject in the second attempt as well. So this is again an exception. And the third one is the facilities extended to CWSN candidate will be extended to second exam also. So if it's 2 exams, the child, if they're getting certain facilities in exam 1, they will get the same facilities in exam 2 also. Now, there are a few more points to remember. The examination centers will be fixed for the first examination and for the second examination too. The same centers will be allotted. So the district city coordinators, they will be in consultation with a team of senior principals of that district, forward their feedback to the regional officers maybe, or the regional office can decide at their own discretion which will be the evaluation centers. And examination centers also will be recommended by the city coordinators, and the board will again decide which are the examination centers, and the first and second examination center remains same. LOC will be completed by September, end of the previous year for the year of conducted exam. So by this September, LOC will be completed. And as I said, be prepared with the Aadhaar, APAR, the name of the child, and the spelling of the child very clearly written. If there is a need to change the admission withdrawal register because of a wrong name, you still get time and do it right now in between when the LOC is still not there. Examination fee will be enhanced and collected for both examinations at the time of filling the LOC for the first time, which would be non-refundable if once paid. Now, yesterday there was a session in Pune, as I said, and Sanyam sir mentioned over there that LOC will be filled twice. So, as we already know, it will be filled twice. What it is telling over here is the money will be collected once. Here it is telling the 7 days after the declaration of the result, LOC for second exam to be filled. Fees for second exam will be collected separately. Now, this is a deviation from what the circular said. Circular said money will be collected in attempt 1 and the money will be increased to accommodate both the board exams, attempt 1 and attempt 2. So there might have been some discussion regarding those who are not appearing for 2, why they should pay or something like that might have happened. So the board has planned right now that 2 LOCs money will be collected separately so that the ones who are not appearing for the second exam may not require to pay the additional amount. But then again, the circular is yet to come out. So these are the things that has been shared in the session. But unless and until the circular comes out, we need not consider that final, mainly because there might be last minute changes which Sanyam sir wants to do. Next, possible consequences of academic. So what are the academic consequences of these 2 board exams? Now we are reading in between the lines. So the first one is students may treat first exam as trial, potentially lowering seriousness initially. So, it's like Dilli abhi dur hai. I attempt the exam in May. So, this exam, let me just take it as a trial. So when that happens, the seriousness of the exam first attempt goes down. Children do not prepare well in advance, and they will get very less time after the first attempt and the result declaration to prepare for the second attempt. Next is pressure shifts from one shot high stake to 2 smaller peaks of the stress. So instead of having one high stress exam, now there will be 2 small peaks of the stress. The stress will remain, but it will be distributed in 2 different peaks. Extended academic engagement, exam focused till June. So think about it in other way. So it starts in the month of Feb. Children start preparing for the examination from the month of December. So ideally by December or November end, all schools finish their syllabus. Then the prelims start. Prelim 1, Prelim 2 at times. After the prelims, they appear for the main board exam. After the main board exam, they again prepare for the second exam. So look at the window. Let's say even if we talk about latest, it starts from January and it goes on till June. A good 6-month window for one exam that is a board exam. I don't think any other exam is going to take that amount of time. 6 months. The preparation starts from January, ends in late May maybe. And the tension remains till the month of June because the results are coming out in the month of June. So a good 6-month span, if not more, is going to have its own effect on the brain of the child. Next, faster syllabus completion needed for February exam readiness. So again, the teachers will start hurrying up, and CBSE has a very clear circular asking schools not to start the session before 1st April. So now from April to completion of the syllabus to get them ready for February, the syllabus will be rushed into. And here the chance is important points not being covered properly, things completed in a hurry, concepts not made clear, and with 60% of the questions now shifting to competency-based questions, assertion reasoning questions, where children need to, deeply understand the topic. It's not like, touch and go. We will have a crunch of time. That's what I personally feel, that enough time, if not started well in advance from the month of April itself, if they're trying to go for exam-oriented preparation, the way I used to do earlier, that last 2 months I'll cover up everything, or last 1 month will finish up everything, that is not going to work over here. So now the school has to be focused on 10th board examination from very beginning. Now, what does it mean? It means that you are not going to include children of class 10th in a lot of other activities, co-scholastic activities that we were doing earlier. Because even in the last 2 months, children were able to pull through. But now with competency coming in, now with concept-based questions coming in, class 10th has to get enough time to prepare for these. So slowly the focus of class 10th children will shift to more academic rigor with competency-based learning and a little less including these children. This is my suggestion, though many may differ. But I personally feel that class 10th is the last year of schooling of a child. 11th, 12th matters starts becoming serious. So we can allow them to participate in certain co-scholastic, but with restriction. Sometimes certain children play sport well, they do extempo well. So it's better to include these children only without impacting the others who are not participating. So we do not, let's say, football matches happening in the school, inter-house. So this 10th standard children who are not actually football players may not be included in the audience. There they may focus on the studies a little bit more. Games period, of course, is mandatory to vent out the energy, but then any event where they're participating only as audience or only passive participation is there, those can be restricted. Next, possible consequences of administration. What about administration? So more work for exam centers, 2 full exam cycles in 4 months. So we all know that how difficult it is to conduct the examination for 1 cycle. So much of stress is associated with that. So much of carefulness is maintained, and now it is completely 2 circles. So that needs proper administrative management. That needs a proper mindset. Now LOC has to be handled twice with no new entries in the second. So now again LOC we are doing twice. LOC twice means filling up the names. LOC twice means checking of the spellings, calling the parents, getting them to sign it. So all these things have to be made aware to the parents well in advance. Better to do it now. If September is LOC, and then again, let's say if April is LOC, then we need to make the parents aware right now so that they don't plan any other thing during those months or those dates, and they can come to school and check. Because there are so many parents after the result declaration, they find out the spelling of the name is wrong, or I wanted, Muhammad, it should be MD, not MOHD. Certain things like small things. So these come up. We have to tell the parents, be ready with whatever you want. Fix your thoughts very clear on the name spelling, mother's name spelling, father's name spelling. Make yourself available for the checking of the LOC. And this process has to happen now twice. Delay in summer vacation for teachers involved in second exam evaluation. So those who are evaluating the papers. Now, what I can understand from the session that Sanyam sir took yesterday is that number of evaluators are going to increase. So if numbers are going to increase, they will involve more teachers of that particular school. So if a school has, let's say, 3 physics teachers, or let's say 3 science teachers, I would say 3 science or 3 maths teachers, there's a possibility that we engage all 3 of them or 2 of them. So this is something that is a possibility. And those who are engaged in the evaluation, summer vacation will get delayed for them for sure. School may have to adjust the timetable and academic calendar, because for the rest of the school, the session starts in the month of April. And in the month of April now, children have to again be prepared for the board exam. That is a second attempt. So if children want to come back to school and get the concepts right, that provision, it's at the discretion of the school, whether they want to give that provision to the children or not. Or they might just say that you can prepare from your home. In case you want to clear certain doubts, you can come to school. Or the school decides that you conduct normal classes for class 10th after the first attempt, and let them go for the second attempt after some guidance. This is at the discretion of the school. So logistic arrangement for that has to be planned, and accordingly, the class allotment for 9th downwards has to be made for other teachers, understanding the fact that these teachers will not be available in the month of April, maybe. So more monitoring to ensure fairness and identical difficulty levels in both exams. So that's again administrative side from CBSE's wing, viewpoint, that to maintain a parity of attempt 1 and attempt 2, so that neither of them become too tough or too easy. So we have to also remember that despite this class 10th not clearing the board exam yet, they are waiting for the second board exam. Another batch is now a new 10th. So if you see, there will be a concept that coming up like new 10th and old 10th. Why? Because the old 10th has still not moved out. Second attempt still remains in the month of May. And April, a new 10th has come in. So this is how we are going to change the nomenclature maybe also. New 10th and old 10th. Students' perspective. Now, I also, spoke with a lot of students across different schools, that what they think, that are they willing to go for the attempt 1 and 2 together? How are they going to split it out? 3 first, 2 later. So let's first talk about the positives and negatives from students' perspective. opportunities to improve marks without losing a year. So this is something that is positive from the child's point. Second is reduce psychological pressure from one-shot exam. Third, special relief for sports student, CWSN and winter-bound school. So these are advantages. Earlier, the winter-bound schools really struggled. Sports students had to face the music because it was one board exam. It's not to be conducted twice. If they miss, they will be appearing in the compartment. And if they appear in the compartment, you all know the final report card will bear that C at the top right corner, showing that the child has cleared the exam in compartment. So these three things are very, very positive of 2 attempts of board exam. But the challenges are risk of complacency in the first attempt. I'll do it better in the second, so let me not try hard enough for the first. Second, prolonged academic stress period till June. So as I said, no exam carries on for, like 6 months. It's very difficult. Next is delay in final closure of class 10th phase and celebration of results. So finally, class 10th phase is getting delayed till the month of June. They have to wait and then they celebrate the result. Now, what do you think the children are speaking about? So I divided the children in one of the classrooms in my school into 3 categories, like the one who are gifted, above average, one who are a little challenged, so those who need more help, and the one that is average. Now, the gifted child, she, brought out a different perspective altogether. So I asked, will you be appearing for the second exam? So she said, sir, it depends. I said, depends on what? So it depends on multiple factors. I said, she said, how my first attempt went. If it is good enough, I may not appear for the second attempt. Second is parental pressure. So I said, how parental pressure? Because if the parents see that, they're expecting something more from me and they may ask me to appear for it again to get a better score. So just because I appeared and I'm satisfied with my performance, they may not be satisfied. They may say, go for the second attempt and any of the best, either of the best will be counted anyway. So whichever is the best score will be counted. So don't stop from appearing for the second attempt. And the third thing is peer pressure. So I was surprised. How come peer pressure play a role in appearing for the second attempt? She said, yes, I have a competitor in the class and this is my competitor. Now, if I see that appearing in the first exam, she is appearing in the second exam again, I will be under pressure. So then, because of the peer appearing in the second exam, I will again appear in the second exam. Though I was convinced with my performance, my parents don't want me to, but because my friend, who is a competitor for me, is appearing in the second exam, I will also appear in the second exam. So look at the way the children are thinking. So this is something that is something that we have to look at. The average children, they said we are appearing in the first exam. And the below average said, we are also appearing in the first attempt and we don't want to appear in the second attempt. Now, there's a different perspective for that as well. The average says that I'm not targeting 95 anyway. So I'm happy if I get around 80, 85. I'm satisfied. I'm not going to push forward for 90 because I know if I have not got 90 in my first attempt, I'm not going to get it in the second attempt as well. The below average children, they never like studying. So they are telling that once my first attempt is over, and if I have not failed, I will not appear in the second attempt to improve my performance. Only very few are telling I will improve. So you can see the different dynamics. And this I'm sharing with the school leaders so that they can understand the perspective of the children and don't force them to appear for these exams. And one more side is there. Children who are preparing for JEE and NEET, they want to start their preparation early. So they don't want to, spend another attempt or time on the second attempt instead of that, because they know the 10th standard mark will not be counted at all anyway. It's just going to be there as a score. So they said, instead of spending some more time to better my score, I would rather prefer to start my JEE preparation earlier so that I can crack the JEE after 2 years. So this is again another perspective where children are not excited to participate in the second attempt. What is the impact on the teacher and school calendar? So summer vacation cut short for teachers involved in May, June exam and evaluation. That's a fact. Summer vacation is going to be cut short. Possible overlap with class 11 teaching load in May, June. So as I said, class 11 teaching load, it will overlap now because the results are being declared later on. So need for dual revision cycles in the same year. So the child is again going for 2 revisions. So if they're going for 2 revisions, they may require teacher help. And if they require teacher help, Now, teacher has to prepare the child twice, attempt one, attempt two. So that needs a lot of effort from the teacher's side, especially the ones who are serious and ensure to help, ensure that they are helping the children for the next attempt as well. Staff fatigue from repeated exam duties. Yes. So this is going to happen. Repeated evaluation, repeated, invigilation. So if you see over the 4 months, Feb, March, April, May, they are going to be going for invigilation, evaluation, traveling to the evaluation center, coming back. So this is going to take a toll on the overall performance of the teachers. And after that, when they start the academic session in the month of June, I have very serious doubts, what will be the freshness level of these teachers. So the schools, I'm talking now for the school management in particular, I think they need to design something that they give some respite to these 10th standard evaluators and teachers who are teaching 10th standard. If they feel like, we pay them for the summer vacation anyway, and they are bound to come to school, let's say 5 days off is good enough. So they might see burnout of these teachers, which will impact the performance in longer run. So the school management has to judicially allot a break time for these teachers anywhere, anytime during the session. If not entirely after the summer, during the summer vacation, it can be spaced out a little bit. So a lot of these multinational organizations, they have this leave policy designed very clearly, that where would I like to spend my leaves, in which months. So I would advise the managements, but it's at their discretion. I don't want to interfere, but just my suggestion, because I have worked in multinationals and corporates, that you can, for this case, give it to the teachers to send them. For example, you are giving 25 days leaves to them or vacation to them right now. So instead of narrowing it down to 15 right now, because now 10 days are going in evaluation, you can ask them that you can space out this 10 days. We are not taking it away from you. You can enjoy it whenever you want. For example, some Bengali teachers want to go home during the Shera, which is normally not a vacation. So they can go home during that time, taking 4 days leave. Some Christians may enjoy that span of during the Christmas period, or Muslims may do it during the Eid time, or any time they want to go to abroad for some small vacation, or go to any part of the country with their family. So these things, if it is permitted by the management, I think teachers will be in the right frame of mind, because the toll will not be physical. The summer vacation not be given is not going to take a toll physically, because revitalizing the physical body can happen even in 4 days, not a big deal. But because they will think continuously that my 25 days of vacation is gone, I'm working more and more and more, they will get into a mindset which is negative. And that will result in wrong type of evaluation duty being performed, or not performing the evaluation duty properly, not doing the corrections in a proper way. So if the schools support the board in this way, that allot the vacations or time off or holidays to the teachers from time to time, I think teachers won't really mind staying back and working in the summers and getting the job done, because they will enjoy their vacation anytime. But again, as I said, this is just my suggestion. Next. So key reading between the lines and observations. So main aim is assessment reform and gradual shift to modular and flexible exam. So which direction we are heading to? So I feel strongly that with 2 board examinations that have come up now, we are slowly moving towards modular and flexible board examination. So flexible board examination is also mentioned in NCF, where there's a line mentioned over there, if you remember, those who have studied NCF, exam by choice. So right now the exam date is decided by the school and the teachers when the exam will be conducted, like in Feb and May. But competency-based education and competency-based assessment, the main feature of competency-based assessment is choice. The child chooses when I am ready. The school does not choose when the child should be ready. So to acquire a competence, I may need a little bit more time than my fellow classmates. And I should have that flexibility to decide at what time in the year I want to appear. So slowly, this is shifting towards that direction, when children will tell, I'm ready in the month of October, or I'm ready in the month of, let's say, April, I'm ready in the month of March. So this on-demand exam can start, but there's a catch to it as well. The point over here is this on-demand exam is not possible unless and until it's a digital mode examination. Because NEET is one exam, it's a pen paper exam. JEE, multiple exams happen. Even 3 shifts happen on the same day. This is only because the exam is a digital mode exam. So CBSE is now emphasizing on improving the digital infrastructure. So unless the digital infrastructure is improved, we cannot go into these flexible exams at all. So SAFL, if you see, CBSE has made it mandatory, not only because of the advantages of SAFL examination, where we understand the average and the structure of students, their learning outcomes are driven or not, but it will also ensure the digital requirement by a school is met. So this is where CBSE during the SAFL exam has mentioned very clearly, those who don't have the digital infrastructure, the manager of the school and principal has to request in writing and get the things done within the next one year. Next is CBSE ensuring data discipline. Correct LOC and subject data is critical. Sanyam sir has been telling this repeatedly. We don't want to correct the names after the exam is over. Do whatever you have to do before the exam starts. LOC is there. But despite that, schools and parents are very, very negligent in making these corrections, putting a lot of load on the board, because they are that time busy with other things. They have to go for these corrections of names and silly things like this, which I think with a little awareness of the principal and the teachers and the parents can be easily rolled out. So during the LOC process, normally a school has one candidate who fills up the LOC by looking at some data sheet that is there in the admin. Here I would recommend, please change it. Make the teachers responsible for collecting the names properly, matching it with the Aadhaar card. The class teachers need to play a role over here. LOC filling, I'm not telling to give clerical job to the teachers, but the teachers need to ensure that they don't face problems later on. So the name of the admission and withdrawal register, the Aadhaar card, and the APAR ID, all these things, when office is checking, the teachers should check it before office checks. That will help the office also. Otherwise, load on one person, one clerk can really bring disasters. I know so many schools, because of this one person filling up the LOC, a disaster has happened. They filled in a wrong subject code for all the children. And as a result, the principal was terminated. So you can understand how serious this is. So I would say, instead of one clerk or one teacher doing the entire LOC work, please let him fill up. But the pre-checks, let multiple people be engaged and let it go through multiple eyes. So 2 exams will need careful counseling for parents and students to avoid misuse of flexibility. Yes, we have given 2 board exams, but children must not misuse it. They need to prepare well for it. And the parents need to understand what we are preparing the children for, how they need to handle 2 board exams, what they need to tell to the students. And parents have a greater role in planning their family schedule, family trips, outing, even the programs, family events. So if they keep family events during this time, that one exam you give it, and next exam we have this thread ceremony or anything like that of our family marriage, we'll attempt that. You don't need to give the second one. So they are not utilizing the flexibility in a proper way, or they can misuse it. The first exam, let's go for this marriage ceremony. First exam is the first exam anyway. You will do it better in the second one. So these type of misuse should not happen. So we need to counsel them well. So recommendations from the school: parent-student orientation well before LOC filling. Do it right now. After the 15th August celebration, please call the parents and make them aware. And if you need, you can share this video with the parents as well of your school, so that they get a complete idea what 2 board exams and what they should be doing as parents. So they need to keep their students motivated. They need to ensure that family programs are avoided during that time. They need to ensure that the diet of the child is good. He does not fall sick. All these things the parents have to ensure, and make sure the child is always given a support from the parents' side. Mock exams for both cycles to keep seriousness high. So conduct mock exams for both the things. Prelim 1, Prelim 2 appear for the first attempt. What are about the second attempt? Second attempt, the schools may omit conducting a mock exam again. But there again, there's a need for that. Go for a mock exam even before the second attempt. That will really help. Next, plan academic calendar to finish syllabus early enough for FEV exams. Many schools I was surprised to see they don't have an academic calendar. They're not aware of how many active teaching days are there. They believe in working days, 220 working days, 230 working days. That's not enough. Working days are just working days. 15th August is also a working day where you are not teaching. 26th January is also a working day when you are not teaching. So when we go by active teaching days in class 9th and 10th and 11th and 12th, it should be around 180 to 190 active teaching days. And if they do not plan the schedule, and in this 190 active teaching days, they need to leave out the examinations. So active teaching means only teaching learning is happening. Examinations are not conducted. So if you're planning to organize prelim 1, prelim 2, midterm, post-midterm, pre-midterm, you need to keep these dates aside and then check if you're getting solid 180 days or not. If not, work on your L1 calendar and divide the topics in such a way that it gets completed within this 180 teaching periods. So teacher workload and leave planning to be a factor in May and June duties. As I said, so leave planning can only happen when the management steps in or where principals are active and powerful enough, they need to do it. And as if you're a principal and listening to this webinar, I would advise, please speak up for your teachers. If you do not do it, no one else is going to do it for you, right? So teachers may not at times go to the management and talk directly. So principals need to play the role of a leader and ensure that the time out or the off days or leave, whatever we call it, is given to these 10 standard teachers as well, because they work very hard and they deserve it. So principals, please, if the management is not agreeing, convince them, make them understand, and then give these off days to the teachers, even in groups or batches if you want. May not be the entire team, a batch, individuals, they enjoy for 6 days or 7 days, sometime like that. Plan out the leaves. So the conclusion is NEP visions, reducing stress, improving learning outcome, increasing fairness. Success will depend on mindset shift among students, parents, and teachers. So this mindset shift is very important. So we need multiple counseling sessions for that and looking at the things through different perspectives. And school must adapt academic planning, counseling, and resource allocation for smooth execution. So a lot of planning has to go in. So if you're failing to plan, you're planning to fail. The proverb goes like that, So it's very important as a principal, as a vice principal, coordinators, you get the plan first ready on the pen and paper, on the piece of paper. Get it in black and white. Then go for the counseling. Then go for allocation of resources. And you will never meet failure or obstacles. And as it is said, the more you sweat in peace, the less you bleed in war. So if you work hard from right now, you will not have to do that 11th hour repair of mistakes that have happened. 11th hour sending a mail to regional office. So this mistake happened, please get it corrected. And the regional officer, dealing with so many things may not, respond to you as well. You will find a hard time connecting to the regional officer at times. So please ensure that we do not need to call the regional officer for silly things which can be really rolled out before the exam starts. Now, going beyond the circular. So these are the things Sanyam sir revealed yesterday. So what are the things? First, mathematics standard and basic will now be interchangeable. So if the child appears for the mathematics basic in the exam 1, he can opt for mathematics standard in exam 2 or vice versa. So mathematics standard in attempt 1 and then shift to mathematics basic if he wants. Next is the result rule. Up to 2 subjects not cleared, it will be compartment. 3+ subjects not cleared, it will be essential repeat. So it's for which exam? This is for attempt 2. 2 subjects not cleared will be compartment and 3+ subjects not cleared will be essential repeat. Improvement allowed up to 3 main subjects. So which 3? He has made clear with that as well now. 1 language and 2 main subjects. So out of the 3 subjects, you cannot take maths, science, and social. So if you're taking 3 subjects, 1 has to be English or Hindi or regional language, and the other 2 can be maths, science, or social. Out of these 3, 2. So I think now it is again very clear that what CBSE is planning. Next is there is a change in the scheme of exam or the paper setting. So the sample papers you will see is changing. What is that? In the science paper, earlier it was a mixed paper. Now there will be 3 distinct groups: physics, chemistry, and biology. So now when the child attempts a science paper, he can categorize which subject of science he is attempting. So this is a new addition. And the second is social science. Map questions may be optional. So here there's a possibility of, but then again, this is not yet published. So when it comes out, expect change. And specifically, I would like to tell you to watch out for the science sample question paper and the social science sample question paper, which will give you the clear understanding how the paper is going to differ. Evaluation, it's very clear now they want to get it done before 10 days. So now the evaluation was to be completed in 10 days time. So because the timeline and deadline of this thing is very steep, so CBSE is planning to go for more evaluators and more exam centers or evaluation centers. Next is second exam, likely to end by 20th May. Schools may approve vacations thereafter at their discretion. So if the teacher is not an evaluator, the exam, this vacation for these teachers can start anytime here and continue till early June, because in summer-bound schools, often the main school starts in the month of June, maybe mid-June or first week after June. So this can be given. And, evaluation work will start after a certain period of time. During that time also, they can enjoy the vacation if they want. Or if the board starts sending the paper immediately, then it's going to be at a stretch, wait, evaluation is over, and then go for vacation. Do not forget, it's not all the 5 papers. Now, 3 papers are children are attempting. And out of these 3 papers, 2 are going to be main subject, 1 is language. So again, the number of papers that you need to evaluate in the second attempt will be automatically less. And with more exam centers, the evaluation work, I think, will be completed earlier. And another new news is next year, 2026-27, 3 levels of question papers are being planned by CBSE now. 1 for the average, 1 for the ones who need more help, so the ones who need more support, below average, and 1 is above average. So a special question paper is now being planned for the gifted children. And these children, it will not be mandatory. The children can opt for it. And when it was asked, like, what is the benefit of going for that gifted children question paper, as it can be difficult. So even the gifted children might prefer to appear for the normal paper, because the percentage of marks will be higher. It will be easier to get a 99% when we attempt for a normal paper, but a gifted child appearing for the gifted child paper may end up getting an 85 or 86 also. So how does it help? So board will also plan out something that will give a tangible benefit to ones who are attempting these papers. Maybe the score will be considered much higher than what it is, or any other way. They're just brainstorming right now. I don't want to make guesses, but then definitely some tangible benefit will be given to these children who are attempting this special paper. So that's all that I had to share from my side. And we come to the end of this particular session on 2 board exams. Now, if you have any questions, you may address the questions or clear the doubts if you have any.
Yeah, there are questions. I think Malik sir, you can take up the questions. You're on mute, sir. Yes, Miss Kyadi, you can ask questions.
Yeah. Let me read the questions. Can you hear it, sir?
Okay. Good evening, sir. Am I audible? Kathy here.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Very good evening to Dr. Salam and Dr. Datta and everyone present here. Dr. Datta, you mentioned that in the social science SQP map work may be optional, but what I see in the SQP is that there is an internal choice which has expanded in map work. However, the question remains compulsory. So are they planning to do away with that?
Can you give a more clarity? What exactly you saw right now?
The internal choice has expanded in the map work, but the question remains compulsory as it is.
So okay, so this might be the case as well. So this is a change in the map work. So internal questions expansion has been done in the choice. Fine.
Yes, in the internal choice. Okay. And another thing I had to ask you, a clarification rather, sir, that in social science too, they have separated history, geography, eco, and pol science. So will that also have its implications on evaluation of the paper, where we will need evaluators for all 4 subjects differently?
So this is, a little difficult to implement. So if you see the correction of science papers, so far what we were doing is we used to have, teachers were correcting the papers as such, and then we used to have an expert. So physics expert, chemistry expert. So these evaluators may be assigned experts of a particular subject to clarify doubts when needed. But that we have to wait and see. because so far we have been not doing it, right? We have been evaluating just like that.
No, we also had a subject expert in social science.
Yeah, that's what I was telling. Like we had
Ah.
that, but now evaluation only given to those teachers restricted to, let's say, civics or geography or history. That was not being done. Only the subject matter expert was there.
Yes.
So I think logistically the other way is very difficult to achieve because getting so many experts of subjects of civics or history is very difficult. So I think it will continue to be like this. So one expert
All
on this
right.
side.
And one more little clarification, if I am permitted to, as a third question. Sir, yeah. What about the interdisciplinary nature of the questions? Like our subject is interdisciplinary, and we have many competency-based questions which can overlap subjects. So if you
Right.
segregate subjects as history, geography, pol science, eco, where will the interdisciplinary nature of the subjects go?
So I think again we have to wait and watch out for these sample question papers, what they are doing, because right now this is a first time activity that we are planning, and the realistic implementation has to be, we have to wait and watch. So I think when we are having different subject wise categorization of the sections, we need to wait and see how this interdisciplinary is addressed. But I think if it goes in this way that uh, interdisciplinary questions can be placed in either of the sections. So it's just for the ease of the children. We are doing this, I think, as a CBSE thought process, I would say. Why we are dividing these into sections of, let's say, physics, chem, bio, or civics, geography, history. This is for more for the children so that they can go to specific sections and attempt. So I think interdisciplinary questions again will be placed in such a way the children will not face difficulty in attempting those. But then they can only choose to attempt civics first or geography first. In that, if an interdisciplinary question comes in, I don't think there's a major difficulty of the child to answer that interdisciplinary, even if it's put in the history section and includes civics or vice versa.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir.
Shailaja ma'am, can you ask your question? She's having. Shailaja, can you hear me? Ma'am, Shailaja ma'am? Hello?
Okay.
Hello?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Shailaja ma'am?
Yes,
Yeah.
sir. Good evening, sir.
Yeah. Good evening.
Uh,
Your
Sir,
question, please.
know
Post your question.
I just
I
had a
think
doubt
yes.
regarding.
Just
Am
one
I
second.
audible,
One
sir?
second.
Audible.
Yes, ma'am. Proceed, please.
Okay, sir. I just heard in the 26, 27, during that time, there is a chance of board making 3 different levels of question paper for the students. So is it that now suppose a child is gifted in science but not as strong in social studies, the child will have to write, suppose a child is planning to write the high level paper for science. Then for social also, is that person supposed to do the high level, or can he choose whichever
So,
level is
ma'am, this is
applicable?
a very early idea. I think I shouldn't have mentioned this in this webinar at all. But then because it came from Sanyam sir, this idea was floated, I thought of
Okay,
mentioning and sharing it with you. But right now, the modalities are not clear. Even
okay,
board is not very clearly decided what it's planning to do. So this is an idea that is floating around, and implementation can be in multiple ways. For example, it can be, as you said, the child is gifted in science, not in, let's say, maths. So he
yeah.
may choose it during the LOC itself, that this paper. So there may be options of drop down without which I feel it's difficult to, make it happen. So the choice itself will be in the LOC. When the child is choosing the subject, that time it will be decided.
Okay, sir.
And if
Yeah,
CBC
thank
comes up
you.
with any other plan B, that we have to
Yeah.
wait and watch. So in this year itself, it will probably come out. And
Okay.
going by the experience, it may even happen that whatever is planned in 26, 27, it may go to 27, 28 as well. Because if you
Yeah.
remember, the second 2 board exam thing was planned
Yeah, yes.
much earlier.
Yeah, yes,
So,
sir. Yeah.
so nothing to worry about right
Thank
now. It's just a news, and you just need to understand that uh, because it is coming up. What the reason I told this or shared this is the schools can start doing it in some way. In fact, when one of my schools long back, I was working in the school in Telangana called Karimnagar, and in that school we planned a similar structure of examination where 3 different sets were set for 3 different categories of students. So we had some sort of experience from that what happens if we give sort of an easier paper to the children we feel that they will not be able to attempt the normal paper. So instead of, what we faced is, instead of taking advantage of that easier paper, they stopped preparing at all. They feel an easier paper is going to come anyway and going to pass. And the same thing happened with the, average children as well. And the average children were normal, but the higher the children whom we give the more difficult question paper, they were not willing to attempt it, mainly because they felt there's no tangible difference. The report card will be same, and a child who is scoring less marks than me, now because I've attempted a more difficult paper, is scoring higher than me, the parents would not accept it. But so this will only work when tangible benefit comes out and boards declares this benefit, that if you attempt this paper, what additional benefit you're going to get. But then it's too early to discuss also. Just keep that in the back of the mind, and maybe set papers occasionally at 3 levels so that the teachers know how to do it. Just a practice.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you, ma'am.
sir.
Thank you, sir. The next one, Brinda ma'am. Brinda, and she raised her hand. Brinda ma'am, you can proceed with your question. Oh, she left, I think.
Good evening, sir.
Yes.
Yeah, good evening, all. Dr.
Good
Swarup Datta, so nice to see you. Yesterday, actually, I was expecting you. I attended Sayam sir's meeting yesterday. I have one question before that. I just wanted to share something about the exam center, which was mentioned earlier in the circular. Yesterday, sir made it very clear, and then he asked all principals to request, sensitize the parents that, as correctly pointed out by you, probably more than 7,000 exam centers are there for 100% students, let us say 40 lakh students. But then in the second attempt, 30 to 40 students only may appear. So exam centers may reduce. So eventually it may happen that the child for the second exam may have a different exam center. So he asked all principals to sensitize all parents, saying that the child may have to travel a little bit a longer distance for the second attempt. So this is what he had told yesterday about the 3 levels of exam. He said how IB or ICSC has basic, standard, and advanced level. So that CBS is planning to introduce in near future 3 levels of this as for gifted. It may not be directly for the examination, but they will differently introduce a course, basic, standard, and advanced. Third thing about Khyati ma'am said something about social science. There was this sample question paper which SST says that not only indicating the map, but the explanation of that particular thing is expected in the sample paper. But Sayam sir clearly said it has come from the director of academics, and that they are looking into. But yes, there will be definitely segregation of science, biology, physics, and chemistry, and also in the social science, to make the evaluation process very easy and friendly for the evaluators. My question is about the sports, sir. When we say the benefit for sports students, nowhere in the circular it is mentioned that CBSE cluster, CBSE matches or DSO matches for that matter, which students go for national or international level. What happens is there are certain federation and association matches which are not at all very yes. So how do the students get benefit or try to take benefit out of that? I think the CBSE can make very much clear that which sports matches will be eligible for the child to appear for the second examination.
See, normally if we go at the, what is the examination bylaws is talking about, if we see, they're mainly recognizing national level and international level, if you have seen. So even in attendance exception, if you go for attendance exception, the facility is not extended to any event the child is participating in. And there is a process for that as well. So when we want to know condonation of attendance or exceptions for the attendance, they have to appear in a particular format that is sent across to the regional office and they approves. So in sports also over there, it's a national level sport which is authorized by the government. So even if it's a national level sport happening by a private company or private sporting agency, I don't think this will be considered at all. So when these things go for the approval, I'm pretty sure the CBSE will ask for approval so that it's not misused grossly, at the central level or regional level at all. So there will be a centralized norm for that. And in that norm, I'm pretty sure they're going to talk about the level of the competition, and this will definitely be government and country representation. As from the government side, it will be only those. Other things will not be considered at all.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. The next one is
Thank you, sir.
Priyanka.
Thank you, sir.
Priyanka. Thanks. Thank you. Priyanka. Priyanka, ma'am.
Yeah, good evening, sir. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening. Good evening.
Good evening, Datta sir. It was a very informative session. Sir, my question is, as I work in a school abroad in Gulf, and here we have some Asian students, not only Indian, as they don't have any Aadhaar number or Aadhaar card. So, is it this APAR ID card, how they will, create? And another thing, it will affect their registration, because till last year there was no mandatory, like it was not clear instruction was there. It's optional. If you have Aadhaar number, you can fill. If you don't have, not required. But I think this year it will be, because DigiLocker is also compulsory mandatory, because everything is going to come, the result and everything is going to come on that. So what is the clarification on this point?
See, ma'am, if it's a country that is not India, so
Yeah.
abroad, any country like Dubai or any other place,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that the board will not ask for these IDs, simply because they cannot create one. So one who is staying out of country, they will not have Aadhaar maybe, or APAR ID will not be there at all. So for these things, the back end of the LOC, that will be modified, and CBC is going to take the information that is only relevant. Things that cannot be acquired in the Gulf countries, CBC is not definitely going to ask for it. So you can wait. Whatever is being spoken about is applicable to India, mainly because most of the centers are in India, schools are in India. But for foreign schools, they have a different way of operating altogether. Including
I
Dr.
think
Sarup, finally,
I
Dr.
think,
Sarup,
yeah.
finally, students have to depend upon the DigiLocker, right? Even if they are in Gulf.
Yeah, that
Yes.
was my concern. Yeah.
Finally, they have to go for the DigiLocker, and the DigiLocker is only available with Aadhaar card.
Aadhaar card.
Aadhaar card. So now this question remains, because without Aadhaar, you cannot have a DigiLocker. So how these scores will be sent across to these schools? So this is only for the scores to be viewed, nothing more than that, right? So there
Yeah.
is a possibility that in case children do not have Aadhaar at all, those who are staying abroad, so for them, the results will be declared in any other form through a mail or something like that will be sent to them, and they can get the score from there.
Yes.
No, I think
Yeah.
they can get clarity from the regional office in Dubai. There is a regional
Yes.
office in Dubai for Gulf countries.
Yeah, recently it opened
Recently
here.
opened.
Last September it opened.
Yeah.
Actually, here in many schools, Afghanistanis, Pakistanis, even African nationals are also there. In some schools, so many nationalities are there. For that, they are using mainly their, using their passports only.
Passport, that is.
Yeah, the
But
passport
for
is
India,
a valid.
when there is DigiLocker, the issue comes. So we have to
From
get
now
clarity from
onwards.
the regional office. That is better.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So regional office will give them the clarity. Absolutely true.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Okay.
Thank you,
Okay, sir.
ma'am.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Beulah, ma'am. Beulah. She also raises, she's having some question. Beulah, ma'am.
Miss Beulah.
To me.
Yes, yes.
Sir, good evening,
Please.
sir.
Good
evening, sir.
Good
Is
evening.
it audible, my voice, sir?
yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for this chance, sir. Sir, actually, I'm asking from this question from social studies economics. Actually, they gave in the syllabus, they mentioned like only two topics will be assessed, like what is globalization and factors that have enabled the globalization. These two topics only they assessed, they said to us, sir. But in the exam paper, model paper they gave us, in that they asked about positive and negative effects of globalization and consequent outcomes of globalization. Can I get some clarity about this? How can we face it? It's trouble to us. Can I have a clear answer for this,
Where
please?
they have asked you for these two questions assessment?
Model papers, sir. They released the sample papers, no, sir?
Right.
In that they posed
So,
these questions.
I think, I'm not the right person to ask this question. I think Khyati ma'am is there.
Yeah, Miss
Who is from
Khyati
social
is there.
studies.
Miss Khyati.
Can we redirect this to Khyati ma'am? Are you there?
Let me
Khyati
check, sir.
Kadas ma'am.
Let me check, sir. Khyati ma'am, she is there. Yeah.
Yeah, she is raising her hand.
Yes, yes, yes.
Ma'am, can I
Unmute her.
please?
She's there.
Khyati ma'am, please speak.
Good evening. Sorry, I was not getting unmuted. Actually, when they say factors enabling globalization, they expect the teachers to go beyond only the factors and show the consequences, the impact, the positive and the negative impact, as well as the consequences. And if you notice, they have connected globalization of economics with globalization of history. And in the IDP or the interdisciplinary project, they're taking you to the Bretton Woods twins. So everything is connected. And that is my main concern, that all these years we've had interdisciplinary questions at CBSE level. And with
Yes, ma'am.
segregating the syllabus, where will they now go when the paper is segregated?
Yeah, that's a no, ma'am. They specially mentioned, no, ma'am, very clearly what is globalization and factors that have enabled. Only they mentioned. So, what is our thought is, if they are asking and assessing beyond that. So, we got a question that they may pose these also. We are getting a
No,
doubt.
we have to go ahead and teach beyond the curriculum, beyond the book. That is our major facilitating role as teachers. We cannot just stick by the book and say, okay, this end at page number so and so, para number so and so. That's
Yeah,
not what we are there for. I
yeah,
think
ma'am.
that's the goal for your question. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you,
Yeah,
sir.
thank you.
Regarding
Thank
social
you.
studies, no, just Khyati ma'am got
Yes, sir.
muted. I just wanted her to unmute one more time. Khyati ma'am, in this model question paper that CBS has published, where have they put the interdisciplinary questions? Are there any interdisciplinary question at all over there?
No, in the SQP, they are not there. Till last year, they were always there, even at the board level.
So
And
can we assume that this time interdisciplinary questions are not coming?
no,
Because it
they
is not
will
there in the
come.
model
They
paper.
will come, sir, in the Bangalore PRP that we did for social science, national PRP for 6th to 10th. We have done interdisciplinary questions. That means they are definitely coming.
So then,
And we have also seen over the last years, and the SQPSA's assessment pattern is not changing. That means the interdisciplinary questions are coming.
right.
And where will they come is a question, and
So
how
I have
we
this
are going to
possibility.
train
I'm thinking
students.
maybe they have a separate section interdisciplinary question. Is
No,
there a
that's
possibility as
not
well?
there. That's not there.
No, not in the sample paper, but
Huh.
is there a possibility that that might happen?
No, no. It's going to be a challenge to the paper setter in getting
To
the
put in
correct
where they
kind
want to
of
place it.
question, and ensuring that the students are able to answer it carefully.
Right.
Otherwise, I can always give a question with Mahatma Gandhi in the picture and giving all MNCs in the picture behind him and asking questions right from economics, political science, or history.
True. Very true.
So
So it
it is
depends on
now
the
challenging
paper
to the
setter.
paper setter. Yes.
Absolutely. I was feeling the same thing, that it depends on the wisdom of the paper setter where they want to place a particular question of interdisciplinary nature. Absolutely right.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you so
sir.
much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much. Thank you, ma'am. Khyati ma'am, thank you. Thanks a lot. Thank you, sir. Thanks for your, we are deeply grateful to you, sir, for sharing your expertise and insights on 2 board exams. And I would like to extend our gratitude and appreciation to Dr. Swaroop. The presentation was inspiring, and we appreciate your commitment for the educator development. Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Salam, sir. Anything?
Yeah, yes, well presented. No point was left out. Thank you so much. Everything was read in between. So that is what, when we read the circular, we may not understand so many things. So if when somebody reads it out for us, it is very pretty clear. And Dr. Swaroop is always the right person. So thank you so much, Dr. Swaroop. Despite you being so busy, back-to-back sessions and all, so he has agreed to because this is the need of the hour when we are going for this one like LOC submission and all. So schools have to take a better decision now. So because they have got a better clarity now how they can go forth and all. And maybe schools may be going for first exam mostly, and because of the second exam may be for improvement. So it is up to the schools to decide, but sensitization for parents and students is very important. And this video will be posted in on the YouTube channel. This can be passed on to students and parents as well. And also you can, schools have to, summon parents and educate them and take a decision. And also, as Dr. Swaroop Datta said, being, when filling up LOC and all, we have to be very clear and,
careful about it.
Yes, because Abar is there and this is going to be mandatory and so many aspects and so many, workloads, multiple form filling and multiple exam duties, paper evaluation, all are going to come. But we can, devise, school-wise, we can devise a better plan for the betterment of the student and the parents. So thank you so much, Dr. Datta. It was a very well, excellent, presentation and explanation. So we are very much indebted to you, equally indebted to all the participants for your, participation and for your participation in asking questions and getting clarified. And special thanks to Kathy ma'am for attending and, helping us with certain, questions clarified. And also would like to request Kathy ma'am to have a session on social science when there is, enough clarity on those pattern, new question paper pattern.
Thank you, ma'am.
So thank you, Dr. Swaroop. We'll meet again. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Malik sir, wonderful. Thank you so much. Great help as usual.
Welcome.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody.
So I would like to express my gratitude to each and every participant as well as Dr. Salam for being with us throughout the session. Your enthusiasm motivates us to come up with many more such interesting sessions. We shall meet you in the next engaging session. And one more thing, and your certificates, you can get it from that. It is already shared. The link is shared in the chat box. You can get it. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, sir. Thank you all. Thanks a lot.